Welcome to the Thursday Gospel Reflection, and today we are going to be celebrating the feast of the Nativity of St. John the Baptist. And John was the son of Elizabeth and Zechariah. And our Gospel today reflects the moment when Zechariah gets his voice back. You may not remember the story, but when Zechariah first finds out that he and Elizabeth are going to have a child in their old age, he is disbelieving, and the angel Gabriel doesn't take lightly to that, and he takes his voice away for 9 months. But then on the day of the naming of the baby, he's expected to be named Zechariah after his dad. But when Elizabeth says his name is John, everyone's like, oh, can't possibly be true. And they look to Zechariah, and he writes down his name is John, and he gets his voice back. And this is an amazing and a little bit terrifying thing to all those who are gathered there. And they ask this question, what then will this child become? And we have the response by Zechariah, which is this absolutely beautiful hymn song, one of the 3 beautiful hymns or songs in the Gospel of Luke, being the Benedictus, that's Zechariah, the Magnificat, that's Mary, and the Nunc Dimittis, that's Simeon. And this is what, or part of what, Zechariah replies. You, my child, shall be called the prophet of the Most High, for you will go before the Lord to prepare his way, to give his people knowledge of salvation by the forgiveness of their sins. In the tender compassion of our God, the dawn from on high shall break upon us, to shine on those who dwell in darkness and the shadow of death, and to guide our feet into the way of peace. And that's what John would do. He would grow up, he would be in the wilderness, and then he would appear as a prophet. And we often think of prophets being people who tell the future, this is what's going to happen, and that's true. But there are also those who foretell. And John was one who was prepared to speak the truth. And he spoke the truth to power in many places, and that cost him his life. He was put to death by King Herod. But his mission and his ministry was so important, and he was the one who baptized Jesus at the River Jordan. In an earlier gospel story, we have both Zechariah having his encounter with the angel Gabriel. A little bit later, Mary has her encounter with the angel Gabriel. She is not quite as disbelieving as Zechariah. And the angel Gabriel says to her, there is nothing impossible with God. And that was a bit the message of John the Baptist. Welcome, come, be in this. Say you're sorry for the things you did wrong and be part of the work of God. And I don't know about you, but I occasionally find the idea that nothing is impossible with God a little challenging. The angel Gabriel has never made me mute for that, for which I'm grateful. But I think it's a reality. It's certainly a reality for me. It may be something that you would identify with as well. And I was having a conversation with someone about that. How do we walk in the world when we both believe that God is God, and yet we are really not sure how to believe that that which we are hoping for or expecting or praying for is really going to come to fruition? So I just wanted to share with you a song that someone gave me that helps me when I'm, feeling challenged in that regard. And my memory's not so good, so I'm going to have to look at it on my phone. It's called God Will Make a Way. God will make a way where there seems to be no way. He works in ways we cannot see. He will make a way for me. He will be my guide, hold me closely to his side. With love and strength for each new day, he will make a way. He will make a way. So my hope and my prayer for you as we celebrate the Nativity of St. John the Baptist, who was both a prophet who foretold and forthtold, that we will be able to, in love and strength, trust the goodness of God and the invitation that we all have to do the same, to speak of our own experience of receiving a good word, the good news. Amen.